Today, Governor Bill Lee will visit Knoxville to deliver his first regional address in East Tennessee.
And WBIR 10 News reporter Yvonne Thomas live at UT's Clarence Brown Theater with a preview. Hey, Yvonne.
Abby Russell, good morning. Hopeful, prosperous, and strong were just some of the few words that Governor Bill Lee used to describe the state of Tennessee. And coming up in just a little bit of really a few hours, the governor will make his way on to Knoxville to deliver one of two regional addresses. The first one will be here in Knoxville. The second one will be on Thursday in Memphis. But now the governor actually did give us a statement saying that he is looking forward to this event. And he says, quote, "I am excited to have these special events in Knoxville and Memphis as we present our budget and outline priorities for the next year, and we want to engage with as many Tennesseans as we can." Now, last night, the governor did give his first State of the State address, and in that speech, the governor focused on education, the criminal justice system, health care, and limiting the size of government. Governor Lee also proposed a 2.5% pay raise for teachers and funding for charter schools.
Tennessee must deliver a world-class education. And that education must be aligned with the needs of the job creators of today and of the future. And Minority Leader Karen Camper provided the Democratic response to the address. She pushed for Medicaid expansion, incentives for small businesses, more funding for public schools, and support to rural communities across the state.
Mr. Governor, while I say to you that the state of our state is strong, I would offer to you that the state of our state is only as strong as our weakest community.
So let me say this.
And the governor will give that regional address here tonight at 6 p.m. at the University of Tennessee's Clarence Brown Theater. It's located on 1714 Andy Holt Avenue. Now, the event is free and open to the public, but you do need tickets in advance. We have a link on our website at WBIR.com on how you can register for those. And we'll, of course, keep you updated throughout the day as we learn more about the governor's speech and tonight when we share different sound bites of what he did say. But for now, we'll send things back over to you guys in the studio.
All right, Yvonne, thanks so much.